got some bad news for everybody. EU votes yes on meme ban, censorship machines. I'm going to break down exactly what that is, and link tax. What's coming next, ladies and gentlemen? What's coming next? We're going to be breaking that down coming up. And how do we fight it? How do we defeat it? We mobilize against it. We have the nation states pull out of it and announce that we're not following it. But again, it's the big blocks of countries with communist China, the EU, openly working with the big global tech companies to unify the censorship, the global social scores, the censorship database interfaces that all internet computer devices will go through, run by George Soros-financed Southern Poverty Law Center group. Now you know why Southern Poverty Law Center has $1 billion in slush funds offshore. This is big. And even liberal publications are saying this will break the internet as we know it. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. Well, there's some critical articles that you all want to see at Infowars.com and get out to people. Melania Trump calls Secret Service after Peter Fonda threatens Barron with pedophiles. Says, I want to kidnap you. I want pedophiles to have their way with you in a cage. I want to hack the names of the Secret Service, of the ICE agents. I want to leak that. I want to harass Republicans. I want 90 million people in the streets. You've got John Cusack saying, burn the facilities down. You've got the Democrats calling for insurrection on the news. Hashtag hunt Republicans. This is what they want. First Lady Melania Trump notified the Secret Service after actor Peter Fonda threatened to kidnap her son Barron and throw him in a cage with pedophiles. The tweet is sick and irresponsible, and the U.S. Secret Service has been notified. First Lady spokesman said, in the now deleted tweet, Fonda called for Barron to be kidnapped and thrown in a cage with pedophiles to see if the First Lady would stand up to the president. Oh, my gosh. Meanwhile, the president for years, since he got in, has said, I'd like to make this border process when people come in, even illegally, better. But the Democrats won't change the law. We either can release them or process them and bring them in. I'm processing them, and I'm not going to throw them into general population. And there's a new video out. It's in the article. Want to keep families together. It's very important. I'll be signing something in a little while that's going to do that. President Trump says about immigration policy. So the Democrats have tried to divert from all the Trey Gowdy information and the Strzok information and the information on the FBI coming out in the IG report and the Inspector General's report yesterday that devastated them and showed that they were criminally trying to frame the Trump administration and trying to keep Trump from getting elected, period. Dems will do anything to change the subject. Dems will do anything not to charge them, but to obstruct. Want open borders, which means crime. And that's Trump also in a tweet talking about what's currently happening. So that story is up on Infowars.com. It is critical that people understand what's happening. Now, there is so much for me to get to that it makes my head spin, but there's other critical videos on Infowars.com. Like U.S. school kids wish they had the same lunches as migrant children. And we compare the school lunch programs that Obama put in, that are still in place, by the way, that feed people the most horrible gruel, total scams, worse than Supermax prisons, to American school children of every color, versus what the children are being fed in official videos inside the migrant centers, where they have the Xboxes and all the rest of it. Very, very important report by my son, Rex Jones. And you need to get this out to everybody because we're in an information war, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a serious, serious information war with these globalists. Now, in the time we have left in this segment, let me give you the bad news, ladies and gentlemen. In the time we have left here, We've talked about articles in the new legislation that the EU is trying to ram through. Now, they have a bureaucracy that actually makes the laws. The parliament then decides whether it's going to certify it or not, but that can then be overridden by the permanent bureaucracy. And so the bad news is EU votes yes on meme ban, censorship machines, and link tax. What now? Now, that's the next web. That's a big establishment, respected tech and internet publication. And the next web is Attack Me. So you've also got the London Independent saying the same thing. EU committee approves new rules that could destroy the internet as we know it, close quote. So see, I first covered this. This was in the TPP like 5 years ago. And they went, oh, Alex, quit being such a fearmonger, because I actually had talked to folks that knew what was being negotiated. Then we got a leaked copy 2 years ago, and then Trump killed it when he was in office 3 days. Now they've taken the exact same stuff and they put it in there. And you notice, this is a tech publication telling you that the browsers, the web services, the web servers, the systems where you upload your website, every platform under EU law, imagine the bureaucracy of this, must then be approved by the EU, and then you must add to the software systems that allow them in live time, in an example they use, to see Pepe the Frog and to say that's a symbol of hate, and that you're not licensed to use it, even though it's fair use and open communication, and that it's then banned and you cannot upload it. Now, they already have this technology when you go on YouTube, want to upload music or something, but this is going to be to your speech and to your words. And Soros Foundation eyed stronger internet regulation in TPP. That was 2 years ago. We reported on that. And Breitbart reported on it. So Soros is in charge of this, and he financed 20,000 people trained by the Southern Poverty Law Center, Snopes, and then some mail-order diploma group out of Florida. I'm not kidding. That then programs the computers already at Facebook, Twitter, Google, and YouTube to control what you can upload, what you can do. And now they're just going to move that onto browsers and onto internet platforms and onto server systems where you cannot even take a quote someone has said if it's put in a newspaper and they claim they own it. No judge, no jury. The mega corporations are allowed to say they own everything. They're allowed to data mine and track everything you do via the EU, all in the name of privacy, but then you are under EU control and have no rights. Now, that sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? It is. It's happening. It's called tyranny. Here's even the next web. EU votes yes on meme ban, censorship, machines, and link tax. Money to even link to someone and do them a favor. Oh, look at the New York Times. We got an interesting review of this film. Here's the link. Oh, sorry. You've got to pay us to do that. It's breaking the internet. Oh, you have to go through an interface that censors and controls what you can say and what you can do. And then it's programmed by George Soros's people. I mean, this is like godlike control. So they already got the leftists in Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, censoring Alex Jones and saying he's the test case. Remember, just a few months ago, the Wall Street Journal? But then once they've set that test case, it rolls out against everybody. But you can't get any of the so-called new blessed conservatives that are kind of like leftist versions of patriots to cover it. They're all just like, well, Alex is getting censored. That's good for us. We get all the attention now when you're all going to be next. And it's pathetic. It's absolutely ridiculous. Everyone should be rallying against this. And people also go, well, that's the EU. Oh, no, we're already under the EU regulations. So Trump, the answer is Trump needs to pull out of all these treaties. He needs to say, no, the EU is predatory. It's out of control. It's the same Twitter, Facebook, all of them censoring his son, censoring him. Silicon Valley, Communist China, and the EU are all going along with this together, happily skipping down the road with classic mass control and censorship and a new editor class that stands between you and anything you can write or say or do, even on your own message board. First, they taught us to accept censorship on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google. Everybody said, that's their company. They can do that if they want. And now it's coming to everybody, just like Matt Drudge warned you here in studio a few years ago, just like I keep warning you over and over again. So now it's passed, Article 11 and 13, out of the committee and is going to the full vote. And reportedly, they have the EU votes to break the internet as we know it. You can't make that up. Well, I got some bad news for everybody. EU votes yes on meme ban, censorship machines. I'm going to break down exactly what that is, and link tax. What's coming next, ladies and gentlemen? What's coming next? We're going to be breaking that down coming up. And how do we fight it? How do we defeat it? We mobilize against it. We have the nation states pull out of it and announce that we're not following it. But again, it's the big blocks of countries with Communist China, the EU, openly working with the big global tech companies to unify the censorship, the global social scores, the censorship database interfaces that all internet computer devices will go through, run by George Soros-financed Southern Poverty Law Center group. Now you know why Southern Poverty Law Center has $1 billion in slush funds offshore. This is big. And even liberal publications are saying this will break the internet as we know it. Now, we have a special guest joining us in the next segment. We'll also get to more of the amazing hearing yesterday where now we learned that there have been crimes committed and that they were trying to frame the president and trying to stop him from winning and then trying to set him up for Russiagate by a bunch of Democratic Party operatives, just like we already knew. But now it's front and center, and now the talking point is there. Justice must be done. They must be locked up. And we're hearing Comey's name, McCabe's name, not just Strzok. So as I told you, the dominoes are falling. The indictments are already prepared. But they're just educating the public and getting you ready for it first. Trump is not business as usual. He's come out in a video we'll play in a moment and said that he never has really been a fan of the deep state. He did it himself. He isn't part of the good old boy club, the white shoe boy club. He's not. He's called a maverick, and a pro-American maverick at that. But I'll tell you who the bad guys are. We're going to play these clips. It's up on Infowars.com. Never Trump conservatives want to replace pro-Trump Republicans with illegal immigrants. And there's a whole bunch of them. We got Bill Kristol. We got all these other folks writing for the Washington Post, Max Boot, the neocon. And who are these folks? Well, Trotsky got hit in the head with a ice axe. The old days, you know, they had big places that made the ice. You had to hack them up with an axe. He got killed in Mexico, so all the little commies ran up to the U.S. and took over the University of Chicago with big banker money out of New York. And they are the Trotskyites. And they said, how do we beat America? And they said, we become the conservatives. That's how we defeat the anti-communist. And then you wonder why the Republican Party was so bad, because they've been running it. Well, they're being removed like a face sucker from Alien 3 off the old face. And they are PO'd big time. So we got a bunch of these clips chronicled, but let's play that Bill Kristol clip with him on C-SPAN, making jokes about it, about, you know, these lazy, stupid, bad white people. Wow, that's like Harvard came out, they got sued, had to release their internal systems of how they score whether you can be let in or not. And to keep Asians out, they don't score on academics as much now. That's only 1/3 of it. It's on attitude and culture and on humor and on humanity, the humanities. And they said Asians don't have souls, basically. And CNN had an article this weekend defending it. Well, they scored them and said they don't do good with humor or humanity or, you know, with social stuff. No, they do fine. They're just not running around glad-handing everybody on average they don't know. They're busy trying to get the degree, get out of there. But again, we have a communist. His father became the head Trotskyite after Trotsky was killed. And then he was given the mantle and all the money and all the stuff reportedly that the Trotskys had gotten out of Russia. Just like the Bushes sit on top of a lot of the Nazi wealth because they were the head press cut for the Nazis. That's been a major, London Guardian, you name it. We broke it first, of course, from the Library of Congress documents that weren't declassified until 2000 for the McCormick-Dickstein Committee. But this guy's got Russian money. Reportedly, his whole, wonder what these commies show up, they take over, and they're the conservatives, they're going to lead us. Oh, Mr. Crystal, thank you. You're such an intellectual. You just sit back. You look at he sits back. Oh, I'm so smart. Oh, I'm so intellectual. I'm so intelligent. Children sit at my knee, I will tell you. So, let's go ahead and go to his lordship. Here he is.
Look, to be totally honest, if things are so bad, as you say, with the white working class, don't you want to get new Americans in who aren't going to be... I'm serious. You can make a case that this is going on too long and this is too crazy, probably, and I hope this thing isn't being, like, videotaped or ever shown anywhere. Whatever tiny, pathetic future I have is going to be totally collapsed. You can make a case that America has been great because every I think John Adams said this at the beginning, right? Basically, if you're in a free society, a capitalist society, after 2, 3, 4 generations of hard work, everyone becomes kind of decadent, lazy, spoiled, whatever. And then luckily, you have these waves of people coming in from Italy and Ireland and Russia and now Mexico who really want to work hard and really want to succeed and really want their kids to live better lives than them and aren't sort of clipping coupons or hoping that they can hang on. And meanwhile,
okay,
grew up as
so that's a way oversimplification, and then he throws it in like it's white people. When you have massive corruption and problems in Latin America and a lot of failed societies and systems, are there some good people? Yeah. Are there some bad people? Absolutely. And then when Trump says you got a lot of criminals coming in, we got to vet them, they go, oh, he called all Hispanics criminals. So it's this deception, but he just kind of throws in the lazy white people, the white people, and he goes on and says more. But now it's gotten worse. Max Boot and Jennifer Rubin have openly expressed their desire to see pro-Trump Republicans replaced with illegal immigrants. Writing for the Washington Post, this is the Democrat strategy as well, neocon globalist Boot wrote, if only we could keep the hardworking Latin American newcomers and deport the contemptible Republican cowards, that would truly enhance America's greatness. And then they go on from there with quote after quote. Oh, such cowards, such bad people. Because we don't just let, like Obama did the last few years, random groups of children, unaccompanied in some cases, be loaded on buses of the Catholic Church and of Democratic groups and just of random child smuggling groups. The Washington Post reported, oh, there's 100 of you here, just bye. Just wander on off. This is what's going on, and it's out of control. And then they know we've got such a big heart, they go, oh, you're mean. Here, let us play you some more audio and video of children crying. Now, we're going to break. We have a special guest joining us coming up, and I'll just leave it as a surprise. But first, we have our latest product at InfoWarsLife.com. Everybody knows that EPA types of fish oil are really, really, really good for the heart and cardiovascular systems. This is wild, harvested in the fjords up in the North Sea. It's super, super high quality. And then it's got the CoQ10, and then it's got the 100-to-1 special type of garlic concentrated that, again, we've gone out and gotten the very, very best systems that are out there. Garlic bulb extract, 100-to-1 equivalent to 1,000 mg fresh garlic, 1,000 milligrams. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is a powerful pill. Extend-A-Wise, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your heart. Everybody's got a heart, except, I guess, Hillary Clinton. Extend-A-Wise, the latest product at InfoWarsLife.com. We've got some big combo deals with other stuff that goes well with it, 30% off. InfoWarsLife.com. Stay with us.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
I'm a nasty woman.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Really doing it. They're coming for the one thing that we thought was sacred. They're coming to ban the memes. Researchers at University College London have developed an algorithm that can automatically detect and censor hateful content before it's uploaded. What could possibly go wrong? Could this algorithm be abused by partisan social media giants to prevent the viral spread of memes that benefit right-of-centre political movements and candidates? They'd never do such a thing, would they? But why does this matter? Because memes can change history. As Richard Dawkins first explained, memes are like genes for information, and human evolution has been guided as much by memes as genes. Memes compete with each other for survival. Control the meme, control future human thought and behavior. This is about influence. Leftist websites like Salon, The New Yorker and The Guardian have been bitterly complaining for years about the undue influence of meme warfare on contemporary politics. They warn that the political meme has become the centerpiece of disinformation campaigns, and the ability of memes to communicate ideology is boundless. The power of the political meme has never been greater. Now, what possible motive do you think the left could have for wanting to ban memes? Could it really be because the left can't meme? Surely not. I mean, surely they wouldn't. Yeah, it's that. The University College London study found that the most effective and widely spread memes largely originated in two places: the Donald and Paul, both of which aren't really known for their left-wing sympathies. So now we finally have solid proof, backed up by the kind of facts and logic that would even put Ben Shapiro to shame, that the left can't meme. And as we all know, if something doesn't benefit the left, the only reasonable thing to do is ban it. So you remember I mentioned that algorithm which is able to identify harmful content and prevent it from being uploaded? Guess what the EU wants to make social media companies do? Develop an algorithm that can identify harmful content and prevent it from being uploaded. Well, imagine my shock. The EU's new Article 13 copyright proposal, which will be voted on this week, would force websites to install upload filters that would automatically censor any content deemed to be a copyright violation. This is a complete misunderstanding of both fair use and transformative content. But this is the EU we're talking about, and they're not known for having a firm grasp of the sovereign interests of the individual. Google-owned YouTube and Facebook already have filters that block porn and copyrighted content before it's posted. So in effect, all this will achieve is a de facto ban on memes and a draconian crackdown on the sharing of information. You know, the entire foundation of how the internet is structured and what makes it work. The proposal would also institute a link tax, which would require users to get a license from the publisher just to include snippets from a news article like this. I literally wouldn't be allowed to display a screenshot from a news article like this without getting sued for copyright violation. Click the link in the description below to contact your MEP and tell them to vote against this absurd proposal. Because if it's implemented and used as a template for other countries outside of the EU, the internet as we know and love it is finished. In short, Article 13 will impose widespread censorship of all the content you share online, be it a parody video, a remix, a meme, a blog post, comments on Reddit, a piece of code, live streaming your gaming experience, or even a link in a tweet. Spain also wants to ban memes that are insulting to politicians. CNN doxes and harasses people for posting memes. So it's a pincer movement. On the one hand, you've got the establishment in general that doesn't understand the language of memes and is therefore frustrated that it can't control them. Then on the other hand, you've got the political left, which no longer understands humour and therefore is completely useless at creating them. At the legislative level, they're going to use copyright laws to censor memes. And at the cultural level, they're going to continue to hype the contrived moral panic of spicy memes being a new form of virulent online hate speech. Just as many left-wing websites have removed comment sections because studies prove they influence the reader more than the article itself, this is yet another attempt to rig the game and monopolize the narrative. It doesn't matter what your politics are. Censorship can never be justified. And all this serves as yet another reminder that the future political battlefield of ideas won't be decided on who has the best ideas. It won't be decided on who is most skilled at communicating a message to others on a level playing field. It will be decided on who controls the algorithm. Studies have proven that algorithms can potentially shift millions of votes in national elections. So until we stem the relentless tide of social media censorship that is undermining the democratization of information, we're all slaves to the algorithm.
Extendowise, the latest product from InfoWarsLife.com, fuses all the known compounds that have been proven to be good for our hearts and cardiovascular system. And listen, everybody's got a heart. Well, actually, maybe Hillary and George Soros don't, but everybody else has a heart, and this product is amazing. So, if you have a heart and you want the very best product out there that's designed to aid a healthy heart and cardiovascular system, it's Extendowise, available at InfoWarsLife.com. And like all of our products are game changers, this baby is the most souped up, awesome version the top formulators could come up with and still be affordable. It's one of the very best heart pills out there. It's Extendowise. So, get some for yourself and family and friends. It's got the very best fish oil from the fjords. It's very, very pure, very, very clean, and has the EPA type that is specifically good for the heart, cardiovascular system. It's got the properly formulated type of CoQ10 and more. It is Extendowise, now available at InfoWarsLife.com.